Hello, welcome back to another video. Now, I've done a couple of videos before this where I've talked about Battlefield Season 4 and the content that's been released with some of the new maps, like Wake Island, for example. And I did another video talking about how I felt about RedSec. I'm just going to cut in there. That chopper was... my piloting skills are so bad. I know you've just watched me crash into the sea there, and I will put my hands up. I am not a pilot, so that's just a separate segue. But yeah, I've done a couple of videos talking a bit about RedSec and about the Season 4 update. And I mentioned this mode, Carrier Strike, which they've added. It's only a limited time mode, and they've added this in with the Season 4 Wake Island content. Now, I mentioned it in one of my videos and I didn't touch back on it. And the reason I didn't is because I wanted to do a separate video on this mode. Now, this mode released recently with the Wake Island update. It's kind of the last big update of the Season 4 content. I have no idea what Battlefield 6 has coming next. I'd like to see some brand new maps like Suru Reef. I don't mind remakes, but I'd like to play some new maps. I'd like to have some new exciting content to look forward to. Now, I have enjoyed Wake Island, always a classic. But yeah, I'm hoping going forward, I'd like to see some new maps come forward and new big maps as well. Keep it big, keep it feeling like Battlefield. But one of the things they did is they brought in a mode called Carrier Strike. Now, no one knew what this mode is until you played it. Now, if you are a veteran of Battlefield like I am and played it way back in the day when it first released, you will see that this game mode resembles another game mode that has already been in Battlefield before. Now, after Battlefield 2 release, they released Battlefield 2142. Now, that was a futuristic Battlefield. I actually really enjoyed it. I loved it. I was playing on PC at the time, and I couldn't get enough of it. But within Battlefield 2142, they had a game mode called Titan Mode. Now, Titan Mode is the exact copy of this mode, obviously, but two separate Battlefield games. Now, when Battlefield 2142 was released and they released Titan Mode, the objective was, on the ground, you had to take all the points. Like currently I'm taking point B. There you go. Perfect timing. We've took point B. Now in point B, now we've taken it ourselves and it's on our side. There is an automatic missile launching silo that will start launching missiles automatically. You don't have to control this, it does it automatically. And it launches it at your enemies. In this case, is an aircraft carrier. Now, in Battlefield 2142 Titan Mode, you had these ships floating in the sky that had a shield around them that you couldn't penetrate. But the missiles would fire on your enemy aircraft and it would eventually disable the shield, making it breachable and boardable. Now, this would take time. So as you can see by the map here, you're taking all the points. And the more missile silos you control that shoot missiles at the enemy aircraft carrier, or let's say ship in 2142, the quicker it would take down. Now, as you can see at the top of the screen there, you can see your aircraft carrier in blue and the enemy's aircraft carrier in red. And on that image of the aircraft carrier, you'll see two yellow, which look like yellow squares, they're yellow arrows, and it kind of symbols a lock. Now, when they unlock on this mode, that shows you that their aircraft carrier is then boardable. And you can board their aircraft carrier, and there are two areas which you have to kind of armor bomb and let the bomb go off. Now, obviously, it's the enemy's job then to defend that, so they've got to stop you from doing it, obviously, and they can disarm the bomb, they can stop you from planting the bomb. In Battlefield 2142 Titan Mode, it's the same thing. The missiles would disable the shield. You then had to board the enemy Titan. The objectives were different. If I remember correctly, I think there were either 3 or 4. Now, some of these were destroying panels. I don't know if you had to armor bomb, but all I know is that the enemy had to defend. And then at the at the center of the spaceship in 2142, there was like a main core, like it was quite bright, and all of you just had to shoot it, and it took a lot of shooting. And obviously, the funniest thing was when people were so distracted shooting this thing, the amount of times I would run up silently and get a load of dog tags because people was like tunnel vision were just shooting it. It was so funny. But once you destroyed the core, you destroyed the ship, and you won the game. Now, this is a carbon copy of that. Obviously, it's on different versions of Battlefield, but the game mode itself is exactly the same principle. Now, they've brought it back into this, and I'm not sure if it's because there was a rumor that the next Battlefield game was going to be a futuristic one, and it was going to have Titan mode in it. Now, this could be fake news. There's always lots of fake news on the internet. My friend Tech Nation sent me a screenshot or a bit of information saying that the next Battlefield was going to be a futuristic one, and they were going to bring back the Titan mode, which made me really excited. We weren't sure if it was real or not. We weren't sure if it was fake news, but we saw it anyway. Now, coincidentally, this new update on Battlefield Season 4 currently has introduced this Carrier Strike, which is pretty much Titan mode. Now, I'm curious are they doing this? Are they testing the waters? Are they seeing what the player base is like? Are they going to see how many people are going to play this to see in the future if this is a good idea to bring back Titan mode? I don't know. I don't know if the information was correct. I don't know if it was fake news or actual news. And I don't know now if Battlefield and DICE have put this together to put the feelers out. Now, don't get me wrong. I've played this mode a few times now, and I'm actually getting into it. It gives me the vibe that I had on 2142 Titan mode, and I really enjoyed it. And I have actually enjoyed this. But there are some downsides to this that have been discussed online. Biggest thing in this mode at the moment that's annoying people is you can camp on the enemy carrier, and you can stay there the whole game. You could be on there right now. The objective is to take as many points as possible, because the more points you take, the more missiles damage the enemy carrier, and the quicker you get on board. So basically, the best thing to do is do the objective as quick as you can and get that carrier open, so then you can board and you can start planting the bombs. But there are some people that will camp on the carrier from the beginning. Now, I will put my hands up and say I've had a go at this, and I've seen how easy it is. And you can camp it, and you can snipe people out of planes, you can destroy planes, and you can be there ready for when the carrier opens, and you can board it as quickly as possible. This can come across as very frustrating to the enemy, especially if you're like a pilot and you want to pilot and you spawn in a plane and you've been waiting for a while, and there's someone there with a sniper gun sat on the plane sniping people out, because it has been happening. It's one of the downfalls. Now, this is where they need to kind of think a bit out the box. Now, in Titan mode on 2142, there was actually a shield around enemy ships. So you could not board that shield. You couldn't land on it. You couldn't do anything until the shield was deactivated, and then you could board it. It was boardable. So you never had this problem. They never had this problem of people camping on the enemy ship, because you couldn't do it in 2142, because they thought about that. Now, the reason why I think they've just thrown this in is because they want to put feelers out to see how many people play this mode. They want to get a head count and a player count. They want to see if it's worth doing. So what they've done is they've put a version of this together without thinking about it, but they've just used what they've got. They've added aircraft carriers in Season 4, so they're using aircraft carriers. All they've done is they've modified the aircraft carriers on this. They've put a bit of work in to make them have bombs inside that you activate to destroy it. But I think this is just thrown together without thinking about how annoying it would be for campers being on the enemy craft, and that's fine. But it will put people off. Now, one thing they could have done, and this was an idea of mine that I spoke to Tech Nation, is they could have put on the aircraft carrier, while it's locked and active, they could have some sentry guns that just automatically lock on any people that board too early and just kill them. That seems pretty excessive, but then it stops this camping on the enemy aircraft from the beginning. And what could happen is when the missiles have done the job of breaching the enemy aircraft carrier, those turrets become automatically disabled, like they go offline. So then it becomes boardable. So basically then when the enemy aircraft carrier is open, you can then board and you can do what the objective wants you to do without being there way too early and camping. That's just an idea. They could have put that in play. Maybe that was too much work. Maybe they didn't really want to do that. Maybe they really just want to get the feelers out for this mode to see how many people like it, to say, in the future, is this worth doing again? Are people going to enjoy it? Now, I have been enjoying this. And in this game in particular, I was playing the objective. You've been watching my gameplay. You can see me taking people out, trying to take tanks out and take the points. Because the quicker you do that, and as you can see now, is their aircraft carrier is quite close for being boarded. Now, I don't know if any of our players are on the aircraft carrier already. I don't know if anybody is vindictively, camping planes and sniping people out and being a pain in the bum. Now, it's their choice. They can choose to do that if they want. That's fine. But it has been annoying a lot of people, and that has been the vibe. Apart from that element that's been annoying people, I think this mode has had some positive feedback. I think people have been enjoying it. I've chatted in the chat to a few people while I've played it, and I've seen that people enjoy it. It's nice to have an objective and a goal and that. But I think going forward, if they decide that they were bringing this back, or bringing a futuristic Battlefield, or making the Titan mode, or making this mode in the future, they should think about these things, because there is nothing worse than people camping the enemy carriers. There is nothing worse than spawning in a plane and someone being there with a rocket launcher and taking planes out and helicopters out. I've seen videos online of people doing it, people just camping the carrier and just destroying everything. And it is a tactical play, but it's not the best. It's not the objective. So what they should do is they should put that in place. But on a whole, I've actually been really enjoying it. It gives me a taste of nostalgia, because I loved Titan mode in 2142. It's one of the best modes that I played. I absolutely loved it and played it non-stop. My stats were absolutely crazy. And it's nice to have a kind of version of that in this. Another thing that was great is they did it on Suru Reef, which is a brand new map, which is perfect. It's not a map that people are bored of. It's a map that people love, which is probably going to give it some more reason to play it, because people are enjoying this map. So that adds, a great element to it, that it's on the brand new map. And this map couldn't be more perfect. It's the biggest map so far. It's the biggest map to have two carrier ships the furthest away from each other, still making it feel like a very big map. The other thing is I love these aircraft carriers. They're very well made. Going inside them, all the detail, the different levels. I think they've done an absolutely superb job with these aircraft carriers in Season 4, which makes for good gameplay for this mode. As you can see now, our team have breached first, and we've got the bomb on, and we're all just full sending this and defending the area. Now, this is going to be really hard for the enemy team to now stop us from letting this bomb go off, because there's so many people who have just kept an eye on the objective, kept an eye on what's going on, and decided to full-scale attack. Now, the great thing is about this game currently that's happening is our aircraft carrier, as you can see from the top, is almost breachable as well, which the enemy know. So they're going to be breaching ours as quickly as possible. Now, I don't know how many people on our team are planning to defend that. Are they all here, or are some of them back there? I do not know. But what we need to do now, with what I've realised is we've had one bomb go off, so we just now need to full send the next bomb. I got killed by a barrel there, which really annoyed me. I don't know why. So yeah, now what we have to do is try and get our objective done as quickly as possible, because they are right behind us. And as you can see, they have planted the bomb also on our ship. So if we fail this now, they could take over the lead. But yeah, I've been enjoying this. I think it's superb, and I really hope it's a mode that they kind of can bring into future Battlefields, because I think it has good objectives, good things to do in it. It gives you... There's two kind of game styles. You're playing normal Battlefield on the big map taking the objectives, and then this in the carrier turns into a bit of a separate kind of corridor mode itself, which gives it a different feel, a different feel and a different vibe, which is great to have in one game mode, because you know it just makes it feel completely unique. But yeah, who knows? Maybe they're bringing it back, maybe not. But hey, but yeah, this is the end of the video. Really, we win the game. We win this mode. I just wanted to do a video on this, saying how much I've enjoyed it, how I think the mode idea is great, and how I'd like to see it in future Battlefield games. So yeah, I hope you've been enjoying it. Just put your comments in the comments below on how you've been getting on with it, if you've enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.
Talk to me, Bob.
Status.
The carrier's lost.
Repeat, carrier's lost.